Hey guys, this is Mina Irfan and welcome to the Universe Guru. I wanted to talk about early retirement and financial independence today. Just a couple of comments that we've received and a couple of comments that I've seen on other sort of FI bloggers or people that have already retired and they're blogging about it. And so the number one thing that kind of irks me or bothers me is comments that I see on other people's blogs that are already in a position where they're completely financially independent and retired, and people will attack them in the comments saying, well, technically you're not really retired because you get money from your blog, or you get money for this sponsorship or that project or anything like that. And I think that's completely ridiculous, because financial independence, all it means is that you don't have to work for money, that your savings and your investments and your passive income support your lifestyle. That does not mean that you're never allowed to accept money from any source, or that you're not allowed to do a project that pays you money, or you're not allowed to put ads on your blog or anything like that. That is just completely ridiculous. We have a coaching company, and I fully intend on still charging for my services even when we are financially independent and retired, because trust me, from somebody who was kind of coaching people even before I officially became a life coach and got my license and set up my business, people are really ungrateful for all the advice and all the work that you put into it when they're not paying for it. I spent years, sometimes I would stay up until 2 a.m., 3 a.m. coaching people over their diets or their lifestyles or their relationships, all kinds of stuff, mainly from my YouTube channel. And then when they would get all the information that they wanted, they wouldn't even turn back and say, thank you so much for your time. Nothing. They would be completely ungrateful or be even mean and rude about it sometimes, like almost like they expected this from me and not that I was trying to help them out or going out of my way to do something for people. So I have learned this from my own personal experience, that if you don't charge people, they think that there must be like something else in it for you, and they almost like take you for granted. So that's my one reason. And secondly, just because I'm financially independent at one point does not mean that I'm not allowed to get paid for my services. So I think that's kind of a ridiculous thing. All it means is that I don't have to work for money, but obviously if I feel like continuing my business or doing projects or anything like that, I will definitely take the money that is being offered to me. So that, I think, is kind of ridiculous, that people really misunderstand that whole concept, or maybe they get it but they're just trying to be trolls or be mean or whatever. Another comment that we get all the time, Irfan and I, is that why would you want to retire early? You're going to be so bored, you're going to hate each other, you're going to kill each other, you're going to be bored out of your minds, things like that. And I think here is where there's another stereotype. People assume that when you're retired, you're just going to sit on the couch doing nothing. That, again, that is not what early retirement means. That's not what financial independence means. It just means that you don't have to work for money. You still get to live your life. You still get to enjoy all kinds of things without being bound by your schedule at work, your commute at work, your work commitments, or traveling, or whatever you have to do for work. You're not bound by that. And also, I think they're assuming that our life's biggest joy, entertainment, and purpose comes from our jobs. Now, this may be true for a very small amount of people, but my husband has openly said in a lot of videos that although he is really good at his job, it's not his life's passion. So why would he keep working in a job that's not his passion only because he's afraid of being bored later on? There are plenty of things to do in this world that don't involve going and sitting in an office, that are much more challenging, a lot more fun, and can bring you a lot more joy and satisfaction in life. So I think that's another one where it's kind of ridiculous, because you're assuming that that person's entire life and entertainment is their job. That is certainly not the case for us. Now, another question that we get a lot, and this is just mainly from like well-meaning subscribers or people that are just curious, things like, well, what will you do after early retirement? And I usually am more willing to talk about this, but my husband doesn't even want to really discuss this. It's because he says that he doesn't want to plan his life out too much, because that's one of the reasons why he likes the concept of early retirement, is because his life is very much planned out right now. He has to get up at a certain time, go to work, do a certain task, at work, come home and repeat the whole process again. So he says that what he likes most about financial independence is not having to have that plan in place. So I think that's why he kind of, we have a vague idea, but he doesn't really want to plan it out. And I completely understand that. I like that planning process of daydreaming out loud. So I'm more willing to talk about it. But the other reason is anything that we say right now that we want to do later on, we're just guessing, right? Because we've never really been in that situation. For example, one of the things that we say we want to do is travel, right? We love traveling with our kids. We want to go and travel and see the world. We do quite a bit of that right now in our lives, and we plan on doing more. But you never know. What if we retire and then we travel straight out for a year and then we're bored or tired out of our minds and go back to taking 2 or 3 trips a year like we do right now? So then we're like back to where we are right now with traveling. So we like to plan because it keeps us kind of motivated, and it's really nice to know that we have, that's something that we're looking forward to. It's nice to kind of plan it on that level, but we don't want to tie ourselves so much to a rigid plan, because that's where the freedom part comes in, right? We can up and basically change our plans, be location independent if we wanted to. Pretty much that's what freedom is. That's where financial freedom comes in. So that's pretty much where we're at right now. We don't want to really tie ourselves to anything concrete. I know in my head I'm thinking that my sort of vision of early retirement, I already consider myself sort of early retired, right? I'm a stay-at-home parent. I work from home. I run my business. I have my YouTube channel. I've written a couple of books. So I consider myself already in a position where my husband wants to get to. So the way I see it is that we can be better members of the community. Like, we volunteer at our kids' school right now as much as we can, but we feel like we could do so much more of that if we were both at home. And also we would be able to take more extended travel trips if that's what we wanted to. Right now when we go and travel, we're constrained by Irfan's work, his vacation days and things like that. We'll still be constrained by our kids' school schedule, but hopefully we can, take longer vacations, spend summers, with family members in different states and things like that. So we're excited about that. Also, maybe more will come out of our YouTube channel, perhaps, if that's something that we wanted to continue doing in the next 4 years. Irfan can be a more active participant in that. Through our coaching business, we could help a lot more people, because right now we're kind of constrained on how many clients I can take on because I do my online only coaching clients during the day, but then I have to do my Skype calls and my phone calls in the evening while Irfan is with the kids. So obviously there's some scheduling constraints to that, and there's only so many people we can help that way. But if we were doing this full-time later with Irfan being retired, or not even like full-time, but we'd have more flexibility in our schedule, we could do it and reach out to more people if that's what we chose to do. So I hope that kind of clarifies a little bit of what our future plans are without tying ourselves to anything, because the whole part of the freedom part is not to have to make any rules or rigid plans, and to be able to change our plans any way we wanted to. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any other questions about financial independence or early retirement, leave it in the comments below. Irfan and I are planning on doing another live Q&A, but I know a lot of you aren't always able to attend. I will be putting out a question request on my Instagram, but go ahead, if you're not on Instagram, leave those comments here. If you're not following us on Instagram, we're #TheUniverseGrew. So that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.